call the April town board to order, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take a motion to approve the March minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the March minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Treasurer's report.
All right, in your packet, on page 3 is the treasurer's report, and then in the room, Pam, if you want to pull that up when you get a chance. Oh, perfect. So starting at the top, the beginning balance of our checking was $118,066, less our expenses of $5,899. And then we had additional revenues of $4,430, leaving an ending balance in our checking of $116,597. We have total UBS assets of $470,571, giving the total assets for the township at $587,167. Moving down to the middle section, our expenses in March 2024 compared to March 2023 were very similar, so there was no material variances to talk through on expenses. And then revenue, nearly exactly the same again year over year from March 2024 to March 2023, so no material variances to speak to for revenue either. Moving down to the bottom of the page, I'll just go all the way to the bottom. You can see the year-to-date surplus is $18,842, meaning that through March we've collected almost $19,000 more in revenue than we've spent. And then that compares to the same time last year, we had a surplus of about $29,000, so just a little bit of a difference in timing year-to-date. Any questions for me?
No,
No, thank you very much.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's
I'll
report.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay bills 54 through 73 for a total of $11,813.76.
Second that. All in favor?
You want
I got a couple of questions, just a question. On Washington County, the snow and ice, is that just for salt? Is that what that is that we buy from them?
Yep.
Now another question, do we get reimbursed from them for taking care of 75?
Yep.
Yeah.
When do we get that, or however?
We either got it in February or January. We got it already for the year, and it was like $13,000 on top of it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, that was my only question.
Any other questions?
No.
No?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anything else? Any other?
No, I don't think we're gonna have a planning commission meeting. Unless you.
Dick, do you want to recap the planning commission real quick?
Dick wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Oh, that's right, we had that other.
Oh,
Did they
yeah.
cancel it or they had
We
it?
can, we
They
can,
had it.
Okay, anything important, Pam? Were you there?
Well, Paul was there and I was
Oh,
there.
you were there.
the only thing that they got caught up in was with
We talked about the conditional use permit and we also talked about
The solar.
Justin LaCroix.
Yeah,
He had a question about accessory building and then also
he
talked
did,
about the
but he
revision.
has to bring back, he won't make it till next year, till next month.
Right. So
What's the adjustment?
we talked about the solar, Holcim solar CUP. And we had the conditions on there, the last amended conditions that we found. And they decided, the planning commission wanted to send it up to you guys, they're okay with it, with a couple changes to the conditions. So, mostly on number 9, was it, or 8?
8, you said.
8, okay, so, and what we, I'm trying to find it, what we changed is just the bottom, pardon me, what?
You changed stuff on 9 and on 13,
9?
and then you just told me about it.
Oh, okay, well, one thing we did was we changed
Oh,
it
we're
from,
gonna do it tonight?
we changed it from aggregate to wholesome, most of the conditions. And then on number 8, on just the last bottom lines. Nope, 9, sorry, 9. The amount of salvage value paid may be deducted from the original financial amount, and this is new. The original amount of financial security will be reviewed and adjusted if necessary in 2027 and at 5 year increments thereafter. And they were happy with
So
that.
we were gonna do one tonight.
Yes, that's coming up, but that was the changes,
Okay.
okay?
What about ordinance 49? Pam said they kind of tabled that or whatever, or what's their deal on that?
We don't have them here
Okay.
to,
I think they're pretty much happy with it.
let
We
me tell
pretty
you
much.
this. They voted to send it up to you guys, but then later told me that they have some changes they want to make. So I'm waiting on those now.
Okay,
And
so
so it's gonna be moved to next
we'll
month.
talk about that, all right. Perfect. All right, next planning commission meeting is Monday, May 6th at 6:30. The next town board meeting is Wednesday, May 8th at 7 PM. We have the local board of appeal coming up tomorrow night, the 11th at 6 PM. We have ditch cleanup this Saturday at April 13th. We're meeting at the town hall at 10 AM. Holcim, thank you for helping out too. You guys can do. Any other meetings coming up?
And this goes from 6 to 7. Right? It's got a definitive time.
It's the Board of Appeal and Equalization he's talking about.
6.
Yeah.
It starts
One
at
hour.
6, but we gotta stay here till 7,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
even if
now.
nobody shows up.
Yeah. Have you received any?
Not anything
Yeah.
from me, no. It's not to say that they didn't talk to Washington County and
yeah.
they'll show up here. But we'll be here.
I know when our street showed up the one year, we all made sure they knew we were coming. All right, solar garden. So do we need to approve that?
We're just talking to Pam earlier. Number 8 in there, where they had to put 62,500 into an escrow fund until all their conditions in the, from the original construction were met. Them have all been met and actually we're past the time frame in here. So I'd suggest we make it so they don't have to have that financial security anymore.
Okay, just to be clear, that was for the screening that we had to achieve, they had to achieve 75% within 3 growing season, which, yes, that is done, so.
Yeah, it's just number 8 in there.
Yep, but not to be confused, the one that is outlined in number 9 would stay in place, the 100.
Right.
Yep.
So I make a motion, we have, me and Pam were talking, we just leave this thing as it is, and she'd add a sentence in here somewhere that the conditions of number 8 have been met, and we no longer need the financial security thing. I think if you read it, the time frame is up anyway, because it's got 3 growing seasons in there, and I think we're into the 4th or 5th growing season.
So you're just making a note that number 8's been met?
Been satisfied.
Is that solar farm?
Yeah.
Did they buy it? I didn't know.
No, but we hold the CUP because we're the landowner, it's always been that way.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the conditional use permit for,
They're calling that
For
a
Holcim.
conditional use permit? That we-
Second.
It's always been that way.
yeah,
No, I know, but that's one of the things that's going on right now about.
Because it goes with the land, so that one's a little different
Oh,
than an
okay.
IUP, yeah. That
Okay.
one will always be a CUP.
Okay.
but now we got
Did I
both.
get a second?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
What's SEH?
So that's our pioneers, so, we received quotes back for boring, they've already done their surveying. They recommended ITT to do, they were the cheapest by quite a bit, and they meet all the criterias. So I would recommend a motion to approve them to bore, and it was, you got that number, Pam?
$39.25.
$3,925 to do the boring for us.
I'll make a motion, we get back to SEH and tell them we agree to the ITT Technologies boring contract for $3,925.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we're gonna wait on that bill till next month, Pam?
They're invoicing us, so I'm just waiting for them
Okay.
to invoice us. We did get an invoice for
That's what I was thinking.
Pioneer Road project just today.
Yeah,
Did
You
see
gonna put that on next month, or you gonna pay that this month?
That's next month. It's too late to pay today.
okay.
Okay,
And they're okay with that? I checked, double checked, otherwise
I'm,
Keisha could have,
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's a partial billing for their whole thing for the part they're doing up
Correct.
to
I'm
this point.
thinking,
I
I'm
think like
surprised, it
7%.
says on there, on the bill, on the invoice, 23,000 something, and this is a partial
yeah,
20.
2,200 or something,
22
out of
something.
2,800 or 28,000.
Yeah, so, and I spoke with Keisha last week about that. I said, you know, they gave us prices for Pioneer and for 99. Are we supposed to pay that? You know,
Yeah.
when they presented it, she said, well, maybe we'll wait and see if they invoice us. And
Yeah.
she was
Fair
right.
enough.
All right, yeah, so you might see them out, I know they've been out surveying and stuff, so they'll be in the neighborhood. The update of revision, then we might as well just table that, right?
No, here's what I'd like to do with it, see if you two wanna do it. Okay, we've been kicking this down the road for over a year, or pushing a year. In fact, we told the county we'd be done last November. So here we are, December, January, February, March, April, May, 6 months past that. I don't know how much more we can do to it. What I'd like to do is, have we already had a public hearing, so technically we wouldn't have to have another public hearing, but people figured we probably should. I'd like to have a public hearing on this before our next month's meeting, and then either pass it or figure out what we're gonna do with it. Eventually, this has gotta get done. We just keep kicking it down the road, and along with that, well, I'll do the other one on other. But I'd like to have a public hearing on this. The planning commission has got one more meeting between now and then. I haven't heard anything back, any major things. All we heard out of the planning commission the other night, they had a couple of things they want to tweak. Well,
Should we,
they've been tweaking for 12 months.
Well, they
Yeah.
can tweak it until the next.
Yeah, we got a whole
planning
month.
commission.
well, I was just, yeah, do we wanna have a public hearing right before the planning commission?
No, before
No.
the town board.
Town board meeting?
No, we'll take their input at the next planning commission, either accept
So
it or
put the
reject
pressure
it.
on to get the, I mean, yeah, every time we go, let's change 3 words. and-
Yeah, I'm kind of done changing
Yeah.
3 words till,
Isn't that when that meeting is?
The next month?
Evaluation?
No, that's tomorrow night.
along with, might as well jump into other right
That's
away.
tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Me,
Okay.
me and Pam were talking, you know, this thing on uncompleted building projects, like Ray's place. Everybody wanted some language in there somewhere. We and her got some proposed language. We put it in the nuisance ordinance, and it's very minimal. It's kind of what you'd written up,
Yep.
and we put that in there. I'd like to have a public hearing on that on the same night. Do them both same night, and she can send what me and her came up with to the planning commission. They can look at that in their next meeting too.
So, do you think we need a full hour for that one?
That one should take about 10 minutes.
I mean, with doing both of them, or do we just?
Well,
We could do an hour. I
Right.
don't think it'll take that long, but
my thought with the public meeting for the 49-2, we've already gone through it once.
Yeah.
And we have formatting changes, we've got some minimal changes since the last public meeting.
Yep.
But because we merged Washington County Development Code and ours, it is definitely different. Only that they're merged and we added a few.
Yeah, I think
Tweaks,
really,
so
there's
we-
only a couple paragraphs that are
Yeah,
really contagious.
I think we could just
so-
run through it pretty quickly with the last changes.
Yeah.
Is 6:30 enough time, or do we?
What do you think?
we could do it at 6:30. Or should we do it at 6 in case there's a bunch of screaming and yelling? I don't think there will be.
That might be a good idea.
I'd sooner do it at
6 o'clock?
6.
Okay.
6 o'clock meeting.
And that'll be, discuss 2 ordinances,
So May 8th, 6 p.m.
whatever that.
Okay, the
meeting is.
8th is the next one. We don't need a motion or anything, do we? That's just,
No.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't even need a motion. so-
Well, we can do it just so it's covered, make a motion to have a public hearing on these, on the ordinance 49.2 and ordinance
58.
58.
May 8th, 6 p.m. I second that.
We need a second then.
I second that.
Thanks.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, other Dick, what were you saying?
That was it, the other was gonna be the
Okay.
nuisance ordinance.
Okay, I had a conversation with Dick Adams at Rich Mullen's funeral. And what he had talked to me about was really kind of interesting. It's about the cemetery. And Peggy, are you doing that, or are you doing, what are you doing with the cemetery?
Patty?
Patty, I'm sorry.
You're not digging yourself a hole or
What did
anything.
I say?
I haven't started yet.
What did I say?
Peggy.
Peggy.
Sorry.
I'm gonna touch base with, I know what they're talking about, doing something with the cemetery and some kind of preservation thing, so that
Yes.
should the day ever come that this township gets annexed, that cemetery would be safe and not.
Yeah, that's a
So
difference.
I'm gonna talk, I'm
And
gonna
I
I'm
know-
gonna delve into that further and see.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I would appreciate it too.
yeah,
Thanks.
because, yeah.
You
that's-
afraid our neighboring community will dig it up and put houses in there?
No,
You would.
no, that's not allowed.
Oh, because I'm going in there.
Um, But just so that it's preserved and it stays as it is always.
Wouldn't it do that anyway, or no, not necessarily?
No,
Wow.
Can't answer.
no, because
Well, look at McDonald's.
if you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a cemetery by
In the
McDonald's.
next 20
There's room for a
years,
street and a
it'll
couple
be
of houses according to
Yeah.
Cottage Grove in that cemetery.
Yeah.
So it'll go away.
Pam, who do you have to, did I say the wrong name last year? Okay, sorry, but who do you work with on that then?
I'm gonna do some research.
Oh, I'm just curious, yeah. Oh my God. Thanks for doing this.
As long as you're talking
I'm
about
not
the-
saying any more names.
As long as you're talking about, as long as you're talking about the cemetery, Patty, we're gonna have the guy that does the mowing's gonna clean up the leaves in there.
Yeah, I know, I talked to her about that.
Does he realize the south side of the south fence, both sides?
The whole inside of the cemetery.
Yes, that's what I.
That's what he's doing.
How about the south side of the south fence?
You mean the outside of the south fence?
Outside of the south fence.
We didn't talk about the outside.
No,
That should be done too.
well, if he can get back there with his, I mean, he probably has a key, but.
Well, the south side is all open, the side toward cornfield.
Oh, yeah, I think he's gonna do that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I think he mows on already.
Yeah, he does mow it.
So
He could just take the leaves there and blow them on the cornfield.
he would take care of the fence.
Okay,
He is very good.
okay.
We've got a John,
Yeah, we're lucky to have it.
yeah. And he doesn't live in the township.
Anything else for unfinished business?
Nope. Not that I-
Yeah, I'm just glad Patty got that. That's Peggy's
I have.
Peggy's your
Thanks,
cousin.
Peggy. Yeah, I have loved ones down there, so,
Peggy's your cousin.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, new business. Rich Mullen, I'll just read this. Our beloved past town clerk and town supervisor passed last month. He was born in Minneapolis in 1923. To Leyland Putman Mullen and Carrie Mae Mullen. Richard graduated in 1942 from Wilson High School in St. Paul before joining the Army during World War II in 1943. He served in communications in the Pacific Theater. Upon returning from the war, he earned his pilot's license using the GI Bill. It was while out flying that he spotted his future home site on his beloved Gray Cloud Island. He returned to active duty for the Korean War and continued in the reserves through 1965. He graduated from Dunwoody Institute and worked for Wiley Trucking before working 32 years at Bell Telephone Company. He met his future wife, Laverne, selling the Yellow Pages at Laverne Illustrated. They were married in 1955. He served in the Great Cloud Island Township government for over 60 years. He shared the love of the island and the Mississippi River with his wife and children, spending weekends on the water, either exploring the river in the 16-foot bellboy boat or ice skating. He also enjoyed bicycling and downhill skiing. He was deeply devoted to his church and studied his Bible and the church lessons. He will be greatly missed. His celebration of life was on April 4th at KOK in Cottage Grove. Bob Iverson, a longtime resident of Great Cloud Island, also passed away. Bob and Judy lived on Great Cloud Island for many years. They moved to St. Paul Park a few years back. Celebration of life at Bethel Church on Saturday, April 27th at 3 p.m. in Sunfish Lake, Minnesota. A light dinner will be served at the church after. The food scrap program, to help with that, sign up. Check out the website, foodscrapspickup.com, and they also have a service line. The next item is construction traffic on Great
Oh, I got something about
Go
Mullen.
ahead, yep.
What's his name? Jerry Tomby called me. Remember when he called one day, what's his name? Harvey Stiefel Day? Remember when that happened? Well, he wanted to do that with Rich Mullen, have a day dedicated to Rich Mullen. I said, well, you write up the thing like you did for your uncle and bring it over here tonight. Well, he didn't show up. And then at his funeral, I asked his daughters and them to write up a synopsis of what he had done. And we'd send it to Minnesota Association of Townships, because in their monthly newsletter, or whenever they send it out, in the back they'll have what do you call memorandums of people that served. And so we haven't gotten any of that yet, but anyway.
They're gonna send it to you?
I told them they'd give it to me or you, one of the two.
The township made a really nice plaque for him.
Yep.
That's really cool, really cool. I think it's one of the coolest things we.
I remember that.
Didn't Holcim have something for him too when we did Mullen? When he Rich Mullen. Thought you guys think they did?
I can't remember.
Birago was around at the time. Huh?
Bureau.
Oh, you're off, I thought you said my uncle had said.
Oh, Birago. Okay.
Probably.
Okay, construction.
I think he said Birago.
Yeah.
Knowing Bob, yes.
All right, construction traffic. We all know that the Mississippi Dunes is starting up, and they're gonna be heavily equipment and stuff. None of that stuff really fits under the bridge. So we have a lot of traffic that's starting to come our way.
Can
And
you
I
make
guess
an at grade Passover?
that'd be up to Cottage Grove. Me and Dick
You're gonna
have,
have to do something.
yeah, we attended Cottage Grove meeting and tried to ask for their logistics and what their plans were, and we basically got back, they're gonna encourage all the trucks that can fit underneath the bridge to go that way. Otherwise, they're coming our way. And so,
At their planning commission meeting,
Jeez.
the developer was gonna install additional signage, which was a stop ahead sign.
yeah,
Stop ahead signs.
Below the bridge.
Beside the
they're
bridge.
above the bridge then. It'd be-
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was it.
They need one more of those, like they need a hole in the head.
Well, they're gonna get to it.
What happened to the flashing stop signs? That's what
That's-
Carla Bigham said we were gonna get.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about doing. Yes.
That's gonna help.
Stop ahead,
That's
stop sign ahead.
Well, realistically, what, actually happening, every cement truck, all the foundations, I mean, there's gonna be thousands of trucks coming through St. Paul Park.
They won't even start until they get their sewer and water done.
Right, but they're gonna be,
They can't
they're
do
gonna be,
anything.
yeah, every dozer, every backhoe, all comes in through our streets, in front of our residential houses that we get no tax dollars, nothing out of. My kind of thought process is Cottage Grove already paved the path for no construction traffic prohibited up in Summers Landing. And I think that's kind of, whether it holds a lot of weight or not, if we could post our road at the Y and put that there, and then maybe it reaches a point where we can get outreach and then charge a permit fee or something to use our roads to try and at least get something out of it. I don't think it was handled very right from Cottage Grove to just send thousands of trucks through, and it's gonna get a lot worse once all the houses start showing up on semis and all that stuff, so I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that or not.
I think we should just fine them.
We have to have, so I talked to the police, and I know in Summers Landing, it's not really a citable thing for them to travel through, but they can cite them on tonnage. So like you could have your roads posted or something, but I think if we had a prohibited sign there reading almost the same as the Summers Landing, I think we could pave a way to try and get somebody or outreach and create a permit fee or something. I think no matter what, they're gonna be trying to find a way to come through the railroad's not gonna allow a temporary road quickly. Cottage Grove
Oh,
should have.
no.
I mean, they should have reached out for that, but I don't know, I think for a few $100 getting a sign made up, if it turns into we can get, permit fee or at least people watching the trucks.
Why don't we, me and Pam talked about this a little bit, is we should talk to our attorney and see what we can and can't do. What can we do for a weight restriction or, I know what you're talking about, you see a lot of them up in Cottage Grove, no Summers Landing traffic, no this, that, but they have alternate routes for them.
And that's posted in state statute, what we kind of can't do for road and weight restrictions.
It
We
is.
can start with our attorney.
What's that?
Why don't we go to the state statute and see what we can and can't do for
Well, yeah, start over motorcycle and
road?
bike.
What we can and can't do from road restrictions based on weight restrictions, right? That's in state statute. Why don't we start there?
It's not real clear in there, what you can and can't do. I'm assuming, I know the statute you're looking at, because I looked at it, and it says a town can post roads and do this and that, but I would think you better have some justification behind it. And the reason I think that's probably a lot of truth is, there'd be communities all over the place that would say, no trucks, no through trucks, no through traffic. I mean, why wouldn't they? And I was hoping, I talked to Frankie a little bit on it, and I was hoping St. Paul Park would kind of take the lead, because they're gonna get this traffic just as we do. And they got deeper pockets, full-time attorney, full-time city administrator. I'll use Holcim as a good example. I'm sure if St. Paul Park could eliminate truck traffic from another community going through their town, they'd probably stop Holcim's trucks, or not their trucks, but their customer trucks from going through there a long time ago.
We get a gravel tax.
Eric Folsom did do a little review on it to find out how you put a weight rating on it, and because they're looking at the road in front of your place there. And what they got back from the county, we got a letter back. They said you'd have to hire an engineering firm, and they came out and did like a thump test. It sounds like they drop something big heavy on the road and see how much it moves, and then they would give you a recommended weight rating, which would have some meat behind it.
I guess I don't want to create too much of a headache if we were to actually get our roads switched with Holcim, because they already have access and you'd have to figure out a permit thing for them to be able to run trucks or whatever. But I think.
I was just using that as an example.
Yeah, I know. But I think we have the right in our township to change signs, to add signs, to do whatever we want to do. That's our legal authority, and I think just putting an orange sign up there written through traffic that is prohibited, and access it through 103rd. And if you gotta unload a backhoe on the other side of the bridge, drive it under the bridge,
That's their problem.
play, that's their problem, or they reach out and then we can say, hey, you guys, here's our roads, what you're tearing up, here's the monthly fee or whatever it is to get a permit to travel through.
Well, one thing we could do is put the sign up and see what kind of reaction you get.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm getting at. For a few $100, you just kinda throw a stone out and see what grabs out of it.
Yeah,
What's the restriction for big trucks going over the Green Bridge? Anybody know? Like,
Over which bridge?
the Green Bridge down there, I'm just curious.
They run, I think they run full-size trucks over
Do
there.
they?
I'm guessing
Because
it's,
they go out and do those, Cottage Grove does.
I'm guessing it's
They
a
go out of here
9-ton
and-
axle weight.
Well, I was just curious, because if all of a sudden there was a restriction on the Green Bridge, they would have to go down, the trail. That would restrict them. Right now, they have a choice of going both ways when they leave. They shouldn't.
No, they don't, they have a choice, but there's a sign at their driveway that tells them where they need to, which way to.
Wholesome
No, I'm
trucks.
talking about new construction.
Yeah.
I'm talking,
Either way, if it became a
construction.
problem where they cheated and tried to go that way,
Yeah.
then we could walk off.
Okay, are we saying that for the new development, we told them they couldn't come around Great Cloud Drive? Did we
No,
tell them that?
that's what we're trying to work on.
Okay, because
try
that's
to
what I've been wondering.
I think
I've
we
been
would just
seeing
have
some
to-
trucks coming by already, and that's what I'm getting at.
Just dump trucks or what?
Big long ones with the machines on them. And the thing is, I recognized the one machine that they were using the day before, and then they hauled it out the next day
Why
after
the
they.
heck would they be coming?
I just
Yeah,
say,
they're
that's what I was
coming
wondering, you know.
Done.
Yeah.
But another question too.
Why don't they go by your house? Yeah, do you think they cut out the other way?
Right,
No,
Why would
they-
but
they
no,
go
we
around
get our
there?
share of
They
traffic
do.
too, you know? But what's gonna happen when Third Street gets their major construction? Where are these trucks gonna go during that time frame?
I know, I talked with Frankie quite a bit, and he doesn't like what's going on, but I think he's got other things he's picking, and he's in a little different political situation than we are, and I think he's playing his cards.
You know, Don had a good point. We need 2 signs, Dan.
I can't believe that
One
just,
taking a
I
left
can't
and one
believe trucks
taking.
would, why would you wanna haul, that's crazy.
No, they do.
They came around this way?
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
2 signs.
We
Because if
get-
they can't take a
we
left,
get
they're gonna go
trucks
this
all the
way.
way past our house. Yeah.
I've seen the big truck you're talking about on the trail.
Yeah, I'm sure
Once.
that,
We could-
I don't know, like I said, I just wasn't sure if they were ever told which way to go. And it's not fair that it has to all go down the trail either. I'm not saying that I don't want traffic past my house, but I wanna make sure they're following the rules.
We're trying to just get them to kick out and go up onto, like, if you're gonna
Yes,
develop
go
your
up
land, you
as
should
much
probably
as
be
you
able to
can.
access your land.
Yes.
Like, there needs to be a
Are they
logistic
doing a
thing.
trail out the back? I noticed they've been
No.
working on the top of 103rd. Are they trying to?
Those trees that are coming down will be the new pump station pumping the sewage line up,
Okay.
and then the
Alright.
road access point will be one by where the original gate was, and then one off the corner there.
What about all the talk about the railroad track? I know Carla's talking about it, and I didn't know if I caught what she was saying. What are they doing with the railroad tracks? Anything?
Nothing, nope,
Okay.
that's all federal, so that's a huge,
Yeah, I don't think,
they could go in and dig a little deeper and try
Because
and,
this is an ongoing thing. They're gonna have
Yeah.
a big ass development there, and that train trestle is gonna be a problem forever.
Yeah.
They.
well, and I think a lot of that traffic, you had 400 houses or whatever right there.
Mhm.
It's a pretty scenic way through St. Paul Park and almost just as easy, all that traffic, and it's already undersized and, yeah. Keith's working with the county and some other things, and I know Third Street's a Minnesota State Aid Road or something now.
Yeah.
He's trying to do some other
Okay.
avenues.
So do you want to get 2 signs? If you're gonna do it, you gotta put up 2.
My original thought was to get 2, and I would think we could throw one in that Tyler's property right on the corner, right across from the golf course entrance, the big one. I mean, obviously that's Gray Cloud's road right there, but I guarantee he'd let us put one in his road to keep them from coming, just go that way, but I think just blocking off at the Y down there.
If you
Even if we blocked off at the Y, if they're hauling equipment in, they can't go left or right then, because they
Right.
gotta cross.
That's
Gray
why,
Cloud.
so you
Yeah,
need
the
2
sign.
signs in there, one going off to the left and one going off to the right.
Why
You
not
don't think we
one
just put it right in the
before
median?
the Y?
Nice big orange one right in the Y? Could we put it right in the Y in
Not
that
if it blocks
open
me
shape?
at all.
The problem is you put it at a point where there's no point for them to turn around either.
Yes,
They're
yeah.
not
Right.
committed.
What about where we have the welcome to Gray Cloud sign?
I think
Right
that's
there,
what-
because
That's
then
fine, yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
for sure see it, and then
Yeah.
if they
I
have
just,
to,
most
they can
construction
turn around
drivers with
after
their
a while.
DOTs, they're not gonna push, they don't wanna get in trouble, but
I guess we could get 1 sign and
start with it and.
put it by, what's it, Anna Marie's house back there, or what's her name?
What is the sign gonna say again?
I think we'll have it basically match Cottage Grove's,
They usually put no through construction traffic to, no construction traffic to,
they have Summers Landing construction traffic prohibited, use Jamaica, and we would just switch it to Mississippi Dunes, and it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Can you
I'd
send
I see that sign all the
Yeah.
time, the
love
one
to
you're
go
talking
lunch
about.
with Mr. Bailey.
what are they calling that, new addition down there, Mississippi Dunes?
Yeah, I'll verify. that.
oh,
Yeah,
our
it's
sign
a
should
racial
say
development
this, use 103rd Street,
Yeah.
yeah.
But is it the Rachel Development, for sure?
That's the
Well,
company.
they're the
That's-
main-
it's not the name.
Yeah, they won't be,
It's not the name.
they're just doing
Have they
earth
named it?
moving,
Mhm.
they won't, they're just doing all that.
And just to clarify for the record and those presidents, not just to be complicated and difficult as a township, it's that Gray Cloud Trail and our roads are self-funded. We
Yeah.
already know there's a road problem, and so we want to recoup the cost of the wear and tear on our roads. Like this is,
Yeah.
I mean, big heavy machinery for how many years, and that road was just redone, so we just want to make sure we're conscious of that as a township.
That's a really good
Let
point.
me see that sign.
I don't think we should, have permits. I think it should be just a no. Because how much roads cost now to repair anything, you couldn't figure
Well,
that
and
out.
we'd have to size, the amount of traffic and the wear and tear on our roads and give a, probably be a hefty dollar amount potentially. We don't know. We'd have to do the math on that, but we'll
Yeah,
cross that
because
bridge when we get there.
And hopefully it just creates an open opportunity to sit down, because then it can be, hey, you guys wanna just tear up our road and redo it when you're done, or do you wanna pay a monthly stipend, or, you know, we can have those conversations if it comes to that.
And you're thinking a lot of the big equipment can get under the bridge, huh?
No, well, I mean, you could,
That's not our problem.
you could unload a backhoe, you could unload a dozer, you could drive everything underneath the bridge. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be inconvenient, obviously, but they could do that, but once they get to cement trucks, you're done.
You put the ready mix in the back of a
And I
pickup.
Yeah.
think they already did
But you
that
think one-
last week, they had the trucks parked up by
Yeah.
truck and they booked.
Every house,
Yeah.
I mean, you're 6 trucks for just the foundation.
I know.
I mean, times
I know.
400 and then
Yeah.
that's not even.
Yeah, I just took
driveway.
336 houses times 5 cement trucks for each one.
Hmm.
You got 1,680 just cement trucks.
That's just footings, yeah. The
That's just-
driveways do.
That's
Yeah.
footings.
Yeah, I know you got
Did they change the
aggregate,
amount?
you got blacktop.
What? I think it's 377.
I thought it was 377.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, 37.
So
They'll
a
change
portion of that
So you
is
got-
multi-dwelling
You got
unit though.
thousands of truckloads.
They're not all single-family homes. A portion of that is multi-dwelling, like whether it's townhomes or, I don't know if there's an apartment building or it's multi-dwelling in some of that.
I
Okay,
think
so where are we gonna
we'll
get,
probably,
where are we gonna get this sign or whatever now?
Call Cottage Grove, same as they did with the other one.
Look on the back of it, I'm sure there's a sticker saying who made it.
I'm sure Cottage Grove will make one for us. I just want to make double sure what the wording is going to
Well,
be.
yeah, and I think we can work on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
just
you
get
that
it to me
we'll
and
get
I'll
that.
edit it.
Dan will get
Cottage
you that.
Grove.
Yep, perfect.
Just put the alternative on there.
Yep, we will.
No through construction traffic or whatever they call that thing,
Correct.
and use 103rd Street.
Just like it says used.
Would you have to notify Google Maps and all that, so when they're looking to see how to get down here, it'll say no construction
I don't think
traffic?
that relates, because if you were like going through Summers Landing, like if you took that, it doesn't tell you, like you're not, a construction guy doesn't have a different app than you have.
Does,
It doesn't
state
like
of
show
Minnesota
up.
have a map that says for where trucks
I think if
can
we-
go, or-
And I'll work on getting a sign, I'll get that to Pam, and then I'll try and get some contacts, because we could probably just send something out to the PMs on the job and try and just forward a, hey, FYI, this is here, and contact us if you have any questions or something.
Yeah, and I think the emails for Rachel Development are available, so
Yeah.
we can send them a heads up.
Do you,
That's probably a line they don't check, because I think they got a lot of comments.
you know, me and Pam got that meeting with the county next week on Thursday, just me and her, and because they didn't want to have a public meeting.
Yep.
You want to wait, and I was going to ask them all about this too, and they actually asked for the meeting, didn't they, Pam?
Pardon me?
The county.
Yeah,
on
they
the roads.
call, they
I don't, I kinda,
You want to wait and see what they throw at us?
I mean, Ken, but I kinda am on the same line as like Keith, that I don't think we should give up the road, like, to try and make that a county road.
Well, you want to wait and just see what they propose?
We can.
Their proposal might be to give us this road. We have no clue what they want to talk about, they
Yeah.
haven't said.
Right. My, thought was that all that, I mean, that
when is
trees,
that?
trees are out, so they're gonna start
Next
hauling
Thursday.
a lot of big heavy equipment, they're gonna start bringing all their belly scrapers and all that stuff to move all that ground soon, so. But
I don't know, you want to wait a week, or just
we can't.
put
yeah,
the order
next
in,
Thursday?
we gotta
that's
put the
fine.
order
No,
in for the
we can do
sign.
that, yeah. So I'll get Pam a sign, and then you guys can talk after your meeting.
See what they have to say.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have no idea what they're talking about.
Perfect.
I can tell you a little more about 103rd though, because I went to a bunch of the meetings
Yeah.
at County Service Center and talked to them and that. And, well, everybody knows their proposal. It'll come from Chemelite and 61 out there, on Nation Road. Come south, sweep to the right, tie into 100th, get down to 100th, take that up, sweep to the left at Hadley, where they got, that road is halfway done through there. And according to Jennifer Levitt, the reason that isn't done, is we're supposed to build 2 apartment houses in that corner up there, and that didn't happen yet. So the road is on hold. Okay, well, then they're gonna sweep to the right when you get down to 103rd and Hadley. Okay, and everything kind of quits there. Then talking to the county, they had all kinds of different proposals how to get down to the lower island. One was a road right between my house and yours. Okay, they finally got it down to 2 at the end. One came over the top of the hill, Prairie Hill, went right through the middle of the golf course. Well, I'm sure that's done now with the 366 homes being approved. And the other was to follow the original path down there. Well, everything seems to be stopping at the top of the hill right now, because nobody seems to know what they're gonna do with the railroad underpass. You know, if you go down deeper with it, you start running into water. To get over the top, you can imagine how high that has to be to clear the trains. So nobody has an answer for that. You ask Wayne Sandberg at the county, he has no answers. You ask the Cottage Grove Planning Commission, they have no answers. You ask Bailey, he's got no answers. I don't think anybody's got any answers on it. So that's all I know on that.
Eminent domain, they'll just take it, whatever they do.
Yeah. So, and then I'm sure this money comes into play too, because that's expensive. So, anything else, or we done?
Just need a motion if there's nothing else.
Nothing else, to make a motion to adjourn?
We'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.